So over the summer, my fiance and I moved to a new apartment. We didn't feel like paying an extra $100, $200 for an apartment that has pipe issues.
I was worried over there.
You could say. The new apartment is nice. It's got a little bit more space. It's a bit cheaper, but it also came with something else. Out back, there was a desk. I believe it was from some other tenant that had tried to move out earlier and just didn't really care to move the desk too. I assumed they were gonna come back to get it, so I just kind of left it there. And left it there. And left it there. It got rained on. It even started to grow. So I did what I usually do with semi-useful junk. Try to convince my friends or family to take it.
Hey, who wants this desk? It's a pretty nice desk. Barely got rained on, just a little bit of rain. Who cares if one of the laminates came off? Who even needs laminate? Who even uses laminate anymore? You're a beautiful desk, and I want you to know that, okay? So what if this desk got a little bit of rust? Everybody coughs up a little bit of rust. That's normal, right? Yeah. See this desk? Even dogs love this desk, all right? Don't bring cats around, but dogs will like it. Yeah, there's a little mold on it. You get mold on bread or whatever. Just cut around it. I don't know, do something about... Hey. So let me know if you want this desk. It's beautiful, it's sturdy, it's great.
When that didn't work, I took it apart and put it under the stairs, hoping that the person who had moved it would come back for it. So I waited another week, and still nobody had showed up. Which is when I knew I had to figure out something to do with it. Lucky for me, there's this back deck area space that's completely covered. It would make a really nice work area. I'd already outfitted it with some extra storage stuff, like you would have in a garage. All I needed was a workbench, and I had a perfect desk frame. And so my project began. I started off by measuring out this outside deck space area, and of the old desk. From these measurements, I started drawing the desk I wanted to make. First, I made a cross-section of what I wanted the desk top and subframe to look like, then an overall drawing of what the desk size should be, then I sketched out the rough skeleton of what the subframe should look like. The subframe was important to attach the old desk frame to this new workbench, and to make this workbench a lot sturdier. From there, I took it into CAD. While not fully necessary, I still like to make sure that all the proportions and measurements are exactly right and where I want them before I actually commit to making the thing.
Okay, so it's a bit later, but I got the basic gist of what the desktop needs to be in order to match up with all of the little holes in the frame I found. Here's what it looks like. I'm gonna use some plywood to do the top. It's probably not gonna look like this. I'm gonna use plywood for this and probably stain it or at least seal it. Probably not too much work is gonna go into that. And then I'm just gonna use 2x4s to build out this style of frame and then drill some holes for the inserts and everything else that needs to go in here. And just attach, these are extra shelves that go with it to add this extra little shelf here. So I'm gonna probably drill holes in the desk for that and add that to the top so then I have a little shelf in the corner. Grab some brackets or something to mount it to the wall so then it doesn't jiggle as much. Time to go to the Home Depot.
Brackets, 2x4s, plywood, cut to size, brushes, sandpaper, and whatever stain or finish I could find that was going to be easy and maybe interesting. I wasn't too worried about looks because it's a workbench, it's going to get destroyed anyway, so. After that, I loaded in my car and I was ready to make my bench. Desk? Workbench?
Would you look at that? It fits. So I got the stuff back. It's a bit messy though. I'm gonna clean up before I get started. So my makeshift sawhorse is ready. All start cutting. Already written out in my chicken scrawl how I'm gonna cut these boards. Yeah, I'll run through that.
So I cut all the 2x4s to size, got them all together by gluing and screwing. Considering my work setup, it came together pretty well.
I'm going to disassemble, reassemble this to how it's supposed to be, and then mark out where the holes are supposed to be on here, drill it in, and flip it over to the correct orientation. Wish me luck. So I just finished finding the holes. I drilled the holes to fit the inserts, and now I'm going to put in the rest of the bolts hardware to like get this thing together. I probably didn't have to use the same hardware, but I just kind of felt like using the same hardware, so. Got it all hooked up, drilled it down into these inserts, got it attached. Now I need to flip it over. Let's hope I don't hurt myself. Wow. Not half bad. So yeah, not bad so far. But I need to head out. I need to go. Friend needs me to help them build something as well. So probably see you tonight. Got my jorts in sport mode. Got some sport jorts. I'm ready to work. So the next thing I'm gonna do is cut these top pieces so they fit on this corner and get it basically leveled and centered where I'd like. And then I can start working on how I'm gonna finish this edge and attach it to the top. So there's this way to use a washer and a pencil to transcribe that edge onto this board. So all you have to do is put the washer up on there, you push it in with the pencil on the end, and you just run it along. So now I got this straight line that I can cut on, and then hopefully it'll fit snugly. Much nicer, look at that. How that just slots right in. And yeah, so now onto this guy.
I went ahead and cut the other top piece to size and started notching out the other top piece for the extra shelf.
Cutting out the little extra shelf pieces to fit these in. One problem is that I don't have like a chisel or anything. I don't have a lot of stuff. In order to get this thing cut out, I'm actually just cutting a couple of different times with the handsaw. Kind of doing this to get it so I can break it off. What you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a chisel and stuff. But I don't have one, so. But hey, you blame me if it works?
Once finished, I added the inserts and attached the brackets.
Got these things installed for like the secondary shelf. I'll be putting that together later. I knew in the plans beforehand that this was gonna happen, but these are running into the boards there, so I made a mark there, made a mark on the other side so that I can take this thing off, cut little channels for those. The next thing I need to do, because I got those things on, is add a little bit of trim here. I'm gonna add the trim at the bottom, so I need to cut like inch pieces, a long amount of inch pieces, and I only have the handsaw. So this is where a table saw come in nicely, but I don't have space for a table saw, so I gotta do it with a handsaw. And so I got my little hillbilly rig right here. Got a couple of cinder blocks and a 2x4 to make myself a little cutting bench. So we're gonna see how that works with my trusty, with little Stanley right here. It's little Stanley.
Little Stanley actually made pretty quick work of these cuts, and pretty accurate too. I should still probably get a circular saw in the future, but I'm still kind of shocked at how well this worked out.
Okay, so it's dark out now. I'm just gonna hang out with some friends, but brought the stuff in. About to put it on, make a little trim, make the shelf. Yeah.
I cut the trim pieces to size and started gluing them to the top, using the tops to make all the cut marks. You can use a tape measure or a ruler, but the best way to get the most accurate marks is to just use the object you're trying to cut to.
So, gluing up this final little lip over here. Got the other one's done. I drilled out a bunch of holes. That's what you saw me doing to get those flat faces. It's a little janky, but that's most of this project, right? It's janky right now because I'm trying to build it first, and once I build up more, it can hopefully get less jank as it goes and a little bit more quality. Alright, another day, another outfit. So yeah, the plan is to disassemble the desk, move it downstairs beneath me, because it's raining right now. It's a little wet out. Today I finished up the secondary shelving area, put all that stuff together, so now all that's left to do is to sand this all down, stain it, and maybe add like the drawer that came with the desk. I'm gonna put it over here. Regardless, that's what I'm gonna go do today.
I removed each top piece, dusted them off, and brought them below the stairs. Once down there, I fully wiped them down of any sawdust. I put on the stain I had bought, which was a 2-in-1 gray something or other. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it is a 2-in-1, which made it easier to just finish up this project. And it protects it, does all the stuff it's supposed to do, and I'm gonna probably destroy parts of this desktop anyways. It's a workbench. That's kind of what you need it for. And hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it now. You know what it looks like. You're welcome. As it was drying, I finally was able to clean up. Then once it dried, I brought it all back up and put it back into place.
Okay, so now that I've cleaned the floors, I can lay down on them and put in some L brackets. I got 2 of them. I got ones for the frame to the tabletop. Then I have another one for the frame to the actual wall, so then it doesn't wobble as much. It's already pretty sturdy, but I'd like it to be like locked on, so that's what I'm gonna do.
And I think it turned out pretty well, considering what it used to be. Kind of a useless pile of junk space. I'm hoping with this new space, and maybe a few more tools, my projects will only get better and become more
Quality.